Hello everyone and welcome to Exambi. In this video, I am going to give you some coding problems for SEBI 2024 Phase 2 examination. And what you guys need to do, you guys need to code the problem either in any language out of C++, Java or Python. And there will be some set of test cases which I'll be guiding you towards. So when you write your code, you have to actually check those test cases. I will give you an idea about the test cases, not the values. You can create the values of your own, and then you can check your code. And if your code pass all the test cases, then you can allocate yourself full marks for that question. Otherwise, you have to give yourself the marks as per SEBI marking scheme. Given the scenario, you have to get 50% of the test cases correct, and after that, you can do the step marking for all the test cases which you have passed beyond 50%. So I hope the agenda and the marking is cleared by now. And now we will move to the questions. I will explain you about the question. You can try the question, and then at the end of the video, you can have 5 questions, and then you attempt the questions and put in the comment what was your score for all these 5 questions. So here I will say that every question will be of 20 marks because I don't want to bifurcate right now, and I want to give you a sequence of 100 marks. So every question will be of 20 marks, and approximately minimum 5 test cases will be there, including the corner cases. So you can just check your code and then you can mention your marks in the comment section. So let's begin with the question number 1. So question number 1 is related to string manipulation, but with some other logic also, where you have to rearrange the characters of the string to obtain the largest possible Roman number. So if there cannot be any possible Roman number, then you print that the valid input is not there. So you print the invalid as the string for the output. So you can see here for the input S, if you have a set of character like MCMIV, so the maximum possible Roman number that you can obtain out of it is MMCVI. And this will be the output. If there is any valid string which is possible for the Roman number, you are going to output that string, and if not, you are going to say invalid. So you have to check if your string contain any character other than IVXLCDM or not. If it contain any other thing apart from these things, then you say that it is invalid. So you can say in the second input you have a Y, and Y is not considered for the Roman numbers right now. So you can just say that this particular thing is invalid. So how to determine the test cases here? You have to first identify the valid and invalid. So for every valid test case, you know what you have to attain, and every other invalid test case will be there what you don't have in the valid test cases. Okay, so these are the 2 test cases what you have. The other test cases will be dependent upon the length of the string that you are having. So you can have 1 character string, you can have 2 character strings, and then you can have 5, and then can have 10. So depending upon the complexity, don't go beyond 7, I will say, then it will be more complicated to like calculate. So you have the test cases, one with the valid, one with the invalid. With the validity, you can start with a null input as well. If there is no input at all, you just say that the valid input is not there, and then you try to find one with 1 character, then with 3 characters, then with 5, and then with 7. So these will be some set of 5 test cases. As per your understanding, you have to write the code, and then you have to check whether all these test cases are getting passed or addressed in your code or not. Now, coming to the next question. Next question is also based on some string manipulation only. So here you can say the question is like, given a space separated string of numbers. So there will be a string of numbers which is separated by the delimiter of the space. Taking this string as the input and create an array and feed all these numbers into that and print the largest number among those numbers. Okay, so what you have to do, if you have, let's say, an input of 12, 45, 7 and 8, your output will be an integer array. So it will be a string what you will be having. You have to convert that string into an array of numbers, and then you have to do an operation of finding the maximum value from that particular array. So this question is quite easy, but it will give you an idea how to convert the string into arrays. This particular operation is very important when you are having a big problem, and this kind of a step can be involved as an intermediate step when you solve big problems. So the question might seem very easy, but the takeaway from this question is very important and can act as a key player or a key role when you solve bigger problems. So I think this is also clear. Now, what kind of test cases you are going to have in this? Empty string you can take, then you can take the string with only one number. You can take the string with repeated characters, you can take the string with unique numbers, and so on. So these kinds of 4 or 5 test cases you can create, keeping corner test cases in mind, the null input as well, and then you can just see whether your code is able to address them or not. Now the third question is like, it is also on the string manipulation. So there is a string consisting of uppercases and lowercases character. Your task is to check if uppercases characters are used correctly in the given string or not. And how you check it, like what are the rules to define whether the uppercase is used properly or not. These are the 3 rules according to which you have to check. All the characters in the string are in uppercase. Let's say example what is being there, none of the characters are in uppercase, for example like this, and only the camel casing is allowed, that is like first letter will be in uppercase, otherwise not. So these are the only 3 valid things for the uppercases. If like first is the uppercase and rest also are the uppercase, it's valid. You cannot have any uppercase in between, or you cannot have like some uppercases in between. Okay, so these are the 3 cases for which you say that these are valid. Other than that, any combination is not valid, so you print invalid or no. Okay, you have to print yes if any of these rules are followed, and you have to print no if it is not followed. So this particular question becomes very easy with Python, and if you use any library function with the string. So I will say you can use some traditional method like comparing the ASCII values for the bigger case or the uppercase letters, or else you can use the functions directly also. So keep both the things in mind, and then you can see that you have 3 use cases like this, what is being shown in the cases. One use case will be of the empty string, the other use case will be like in between you are having like the string start with the lowercase, but in between you have some upper cases. The string starts with the uppercase, in between you have some lower cases, and then also in between you have some upper cases character. So all the possible combination which can be happening out of these 3 cases will be your set of test cases. Always keep in mind to address the corner test cases or the invalid input or the bad user input. So your entire algorithm and your entire code will be good enough to handle those exceptional cases as well. Now, the fourth question is, given a string representing the records of the worker entering and leaving the rest area, where E represent the entry and L represent the leaving of the rest area, for each worker, 1 chair is required. Your task is to find the minimum number of chairs required so that there is no shortage of chair at every time. So what you say that there is a, let's say a room or something like this, people are entering, people are leaving. So what should be the capacity of the room in terms of chairs to have everybody seated there so that no shortage of the chair is there? This you have to calculate, right? So for example, like let's say the input is having triple E followed by double E and then followed by one single E. It means 3 people have entered. So till you find a next leaving thing, you can use the stack for this thing. Whenever there is a E, you push it into the stack. Whenever there is L, you drop it out, and you calculate the maximum length of the stack or the maximum height of the stack at a particular moment, and then you will get what is the maximum number of chairs, or you can say the minimum number of chairs that are required in order to fulfill the demand of entering and leaving the persons of the rest area. So this question is also easy. This is a direct implementation of stack data structure, and it is also easy if you strike it correctly. If this particular thing strikes you correctly, that it is a stack which you are going to take. Otherwise, with other data structures, it will be a little complicated. So I will ask you to implement this. How you have to actually now define the test cases. The test cases will be like the strings without anything, like empty string, then strings without all the entering, the strings without entering and leaving intermittently, like after some E you are having L, then the string with enter leaving, like these kinds of combination. So you have to address these kinds of combination to identify what will be the maximum or the minimum number of instances of the chairs at a particular moment. Now, the last question for the video, you have to check if a string can be split into 2 substrings with equal number of vowels or not. So you will have one string, and then you just have to check the number of vowels, and if you are able to create 2 substrings, okay, and those 2 substrings contain equal number of vowels or not. So in iExamB you have the solution as yes, because there exist two substrings which are having I, X, A and M, B, double E, where you have I and A as the vowel in the first string, first substring basically, and double E as the vowel of count 2 in the second substrings. So you will say yes, it can be divided into equal number of vowels. Remember, the length of the substring do not need to be equal. The number of vowels, either if they are repetitive in nature, they should be equal. So you can take here the test cases like empty string first of all. Then you can have a word with all the vowels, with all the, like, there won't be anything with all the vowels, where that word will be very small. But still, if you can find that combination, it doesn't need to have make any sense like a meaning in the dictionary. But still, you can have some combination of the words where you have all vowels. Then you can have something with all consonants, then consonants with vowels. Also, you can have even ordered, like even number of vowels, odd number of vowels, and then you can see if that can be done or not. So these all things are there that you have to keep in mind when you are solving this problem for the test cases point of view. And by this you will have the final solution by the cases, and uh, then you can check how many your code is able to address. So I hope all the 5 problems are clear to you. They are not difficult problems, and you can definitely start with these problems if you haven't started coding for the phase 2, because they are very easy, very basic in nature. And also every question will have a key away that you can take for your next upcoming endeavors for the codings. So these kinds of small tools will actually help you to get more understanding and a better approach, a better approach to solve bigger problems. So if you like this video, do hit the like button. If you feel that we should bring these kinds of more videos, then do give us an appreciation by subscribing the channel and hitting the bell icon so that you never miss an update from our side. Also, if you want to reach out to us, you can reach out to us at hello@exambi.com or on the number that has been flashed on the screen. If you want to prepare 50% faster with Exambi, go and check out our course at www.exambi.com, or you can also log into our app that is there already on the Google Play Store, so where you have everything in your mobile phone on the go, where you can access your live classes for which you have paid off, the daily quizzes, the full course access in whichever courses you are enrolled, and your daily current affairs. So everything will come handy with you, and you have access to all the materials that you need to have when you are working, or when you are not working, when you are traveling, or when you are not having your laptop or books with you. So this will be very handy, and do take advantage of this particular app to make your preparation more precise and unique. So that was all from my side. I'll keep bringing on more videos on the coding questions where you get some questions and you can practice them. Do mention your score after you attempt all the questions, and if you faced any problem in solving the problems, do mention that in the comment section. We'll be more than happy to help you out in that case. So that was all from my side. See you in the next video. Till then, keep practicing and stay updated.